Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, Heat Miser here. It's the 27th of February, 2024, and the Undead Pirates Rewards and More poll blog has just dropped. Thank you so much for joining me on this YouTube video. Real quick, if you want to go ahead and give it a like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it so much. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers in 2024. Check the link in the description for the Twitch stream and the Discord and my TikTok if you're interested in anything of that. Regardless, let's move on. Let's go. Moving forward. Things are getting extra wild in the wilderness. Read on to find out more. In last month's Winter Summit Greenlight poll, you said yard to a new wilderness hotspot at the Chaos Temple featuring undead pirates, chaos druids, and a whole lot of PvP. Before we dive into reward side of things, here's a tiny sneak peek from our latest test world. Shown below is a pure making use of the dwarven multi-cannon to deliver swift justice to these pesky pirates. You'll also notice that we're looking at how things play out with a southern land bridge away from the Chaos Temple, allowing you and your friends to try out your hand at pincering opponents in, or recreating a medieval pitched battle against a team charging in from the opposite side and meeting in the middle. Dramatic. I have no knowledge on this, but continuing on. This time we want to focus on the rewards you get from this new content. Alright, Undead Pirates. Before we move on to other rewards, we like to propose tweaking the hard clue step that currently points to the Chaos Temple and move it to somewhere a bit less chaotic. We'd also move the associated stash unit. We're doing this because wilderness clue steps are risky enough as is, and nobody dreams of filling their bank with ill-gotten shovels. The image below shows the new location of the step. Wow, that's a huge difference. So instead of here, it's here. Oh wait, never mind. Instead of here, it's here. I get it. Okay. For us, this change is primarily just maintaining the status quo. Where we make changes to wilderness content, we'd like to try and keep the associated risk of things like clue scrolls about the same as before. Of course, some of you might relish the thought of wading wading around through a lava-filled war zone in search of rewards, so we thought we'd ask just in case. Should we move the hard clue step? Sure. With that out of the way, let's see the rewards. Chivalry Prayer Scroll. You'll remember that one of our primary motives in fleshing out low wilderness level hotspots was to give the Zergers, Peers, and other PvP focused builds a place to hang out. This area is unique in that it sits between levels 9 and 14 wilderness, the perfect spot for builds like this to get their PvP on. This also means that if you're still progressing your count and feel like a bit of risk for some juicy reward, you're more likely to be attacked by players around your combat level rather than far beyond. Interesting. Equally, this reward is aimed at PvP builds. Chivalry isn't a new prayer, although you'd be forgiven for thinking it is because you've probably never used it before. Very true. Chivalry is useless. Chivalry requires 60 prayer, 65 defense, and completion of King's Ransom to Night Waves. In return, it offers a boost to the defense, strength, and attack. It's essentially a weaker version of Piety, and thus it remains unused. But you know what they say, chivalry is not dead. This consumable prayer scroll gives low-level players the option to use prayer that they wouldn't otherwise have access to. That's interesting. I really like where they're going with that. It also evens the odds between players with drastically different builds. Although the effects of the prayer are marginal, it makes fights between 45 defense and Zerkos and 70 defense mid-levels a bit less foregone conclusion. Interesting. Finally, Chivalry is mutually exclusive with Steel Skin, ultimate strength, and incredible reflexes. Combining these three prayers into one is valuable learning tool for players who are still getting used to the prayer switching demands of an alternative account builds, since they'll only have to switch one prayer rather than 2 or 3. I agree. The one-use scroll will unlock Chivalry permanently, so long as you have 60 prayer to use it. Don't worry, you can still unlock the prayer old-fashioned way if you still prefer. Wow. So they're trying to add Chivalry into the question. I would say yes to that. I like that. I think that's okay. Because Chivalry is otherwise useless, in my opinion. Yeah. We'd also like to adjust some of Chivalry's bonus. We're committed to giving this prayer a little extra oomph, but we're torn between two very different approaches. Option A Give Chivalry 15 defense, 18 strength, and 20% attack. Or option B, 20 defense, 20% defense, 18% strength, and 18% attack. Oh, so either swap the attack and defense or not. What is this more important for? I would say attack. I'd say attack if I had to vote, which is exactly the next question. And then another question. It's the same thing. Now we're talking about adamant seeds, which is like mithril seeds, but like a different direction from what I could think, right? Sermon's over. Time for a spot of gardening. Remember the 40 mithril seeds from the waterfall quest? But did you know that their uses go beyond growing pretty flowers? I did. That's why adamant seeds are here to revolutionize wilderness gardening. They're the same as mithril seeds in every aspect, except when they're planted, they move one tile east. Adam. I'd say Adam. What's wrong with that? Instead of going west, you go east? That's pretty cool. I think that's a cool little addition. I wouldn't be against that. What's the blip blocking scroll? Those Elder Chaos Druids do love their teleports, although the same can't be said for their unfortunate victims. If you're sick of being teleported around all over the place... Oh, so this is supposed to make it so you can get teleported around. Sure. If we add the scroll, should we also prevent teleportation attacks from abyssal demons? Sure. Why not? That's all on the rewards front. We're not looking to give undead pirates a whole bunch of fancy uniques. We want to provide them consistent loot. Okay. Fountain of Ruin in the meantime. If you don't know, the Fountain of Ruin provides unlimited runes to anyone within its line of sight, which means that you can cast any spell you like indefinitely. Yep. They want to buff it? Wait, we'd like to increase its utility by allowing players to cast alchemy spells on multiple items at once while at the alchemy of the rune or the fountain. It'll buff based on the diary tiers. So if you have easy tier, you can alch 5 of any item all the way up to 30 items at once in the wilderness. Holy shit, that's what I'm saying. 30 items at once? What? Put that into perspective. Let's take that humble rune arrow. I don't care. Should we adjust the Fountain of Ruin by allowing players to alchemize multiple items at once, as outlined in the blog? Fuck it. Why not, right? That's interesting and very cool. Crazy, but I love it. Wilderness agility course. Oh my god. One tick logout bots. Yeah, I don't know. With the one tick logout bots, prices might get fucked from that. I'm not gonna lie. Now that I think about it, prices might get a little screwed from that. But at the end of the day, what are you gonna do? Maybe you don't do it. Maybe you scale that down a little bit. 30 items at once? Oh my god. That's a lot. What's the poll? Here's how the loot scales up. 1 to 10 laps, roughly 10k GP per loot. Wait, they're trying to say, should we add an opt-in system that allows players to earn GP and blighted supplies at the Wilderness Agility course? Yeah, fuck it. Let people earn supplies and GP from the Wilderness Agility course. Fuck it. Yeah, I think so. Should we add a stackable token to the Wilderness Agility course that players can hand in for extra XP with increasing XP modifiers for bigger stacks as described in the blog? I mean, that seems a little weird. Extra XP. I'd rather just buff the whole thing as a whole to make it more like more incentive. I don't know how I feel about those, because then you die and then you don't get them unless they're untradeable and you keep them. But even then, I feel like it's just an extra step for no reason that might make it a little less keen to players on doing. This is a question mark for me. Question 10 here. Should we add a stackable token? Other improvements. Finally, we have a rapid fire list of minor tweaks to the wilderness content. Deep breath. make a respawn timer for most of wilderness NPC content to 9 seconds to reduce downtime on wilderness slayer tasks. Bandits, dark warriors, rogues, Anku, hellhounds, ice giants, and jellies. They're shifting furniture. They're adding green full homes to the drop list for high-level bandits. More free coin drops from high-level rogues. Increasing superior monster spawn rate by 10% while on a wilderness task. That's pretty cool. Allow players to purchase multiple imbued god capes for 500k. The current method of thing. Why would you do that instead of just dropping it like you normally do? That's a weird change. And deep and breath. Oops. Deep breath again for the poll questions. Oh my god! Alright, so they're just talking about respawn timers. And they're talking about quantity of bandits, rogues, dark warriors, Ankus, hellhounds, jellies. They're just talking about adding more mobs to the wilderness. All yeses. Adjust the furniture to place a dwarf multi-cannon in the wilderness pirates hideout. That's an interesting one. We'll see how that pans out. There's a lot going on here. All right. Should we allow players to more easily purchase god capes? That's, I guess, fine. Superior creatures 10% more likely to appear? Yes. Coin pouch upgrade or more coin drops from high-level rogues? Yes. All right. That's all I really wanted to go through. If you want to pause and go through the questions on your own, it's a lot of wilderness stuff. It's a big wilderness update. And other than that, that's all I got for the video. So, once again, there we go. That's the last 11 through 23 questions right there. We will have an answer to all these poll questions in a new video. I would like to thank you all for watching. Check the description for all the links. Have a great night. I am live almost every day. Big shout out to everybody watching live on Twitch. Peace out. Love y'all.